Dear students, good morning. This is your biology teacher. Welcomes you for online classes on behalf of Krishnanagar Academy. Students, you all are aware of the fact that this is a lockdown period due to COVID-19 pandemic. In this situation, stay safe, stay well and maintain social distancing and obey the government rules and regulations. Thank you. Today, we will begin our biology class with the topic reproduction in organisms. Before starting the chapter, I want to mention that in the unit for reproduction, we are allotted with a 16 marks division. Now, the points to study in this chapter are reproduction, its definition, its significance, its modes, that is asexual and sexual reproduction. We will also have an idea about lifespan. We will read in details about asexual reproduction, some vegetative propagation techniques, sexual reproduction, its events in sexual reproduction, which includes pre-fertilization events, fertilization and some post-fertilization events. So, let us begin with what is reproduction. Reproduction is the biological process by which new individual organisms called offsprings are produced from their parents. Now, if we follow the cycle, we will see that offsprings are formed, then they grow, they mature, again they reproduce to form new offsprings. Now, in the other word, we can say that it is the self-duplication or the process by which a species is continued. So, the main significance or the main importance of reproduction is continuation of the species or continuity of the race. So, here for the significance of reproduction, we will study that it enables the continuity of the race and group immortality by increasing the population. So, a reproduction is a process which is mainly followed for continuing a race. Now, we will study what is lifespan. Now, the lifespan is the period from birth to natural death of an organism. Now, please note it. Don't forget to write the term natural death, because here the natural death actually defines lifespan, and every organism has a specific average lifespan. At the end of this portion, we will study some of the lifespans of some of the organisms. Now, the lifespan depends upon 4 stages: juvenility, maturity, aging and senescence, and death. While discussing about the sexual reproduction, we will read in details about these things. A point to be noted here is that there is no natural death in single-celled organism, as they divide and form 2 new cells. Now we will see about the types of reproduction, that is the sexual one and the asexual one. And the asexual one which we get is that formation of new individuals without involving the formation and fusion of gametes. Whereas in case of the sexual one, we see it involves the fusion of 2 sex gametes to form new individual. So what we get from gamete, it fuses to form zygote, and the zygote forms a new organism. In case of asexual reproduction, offsprings produced is the exact copy of the parent. But here they are not the exact copies, they are the recombined products or the recombinant product from both the parents with genetic variation. This process is further known as apomixis, and this one is also known as amphimixis. In case of asexual reproduction, the offsprings that receive all of their genes from one parent, so are identical with each other and are called clone. So we can define clone as morphologically and genetically similar organisms. Now we will go in details about the asexual reproduction. Now the asexual reproduction has got some following characteristics. Single-celled individual is capable of producing offspring, whereas single-celled as well as single individual also. For asexual reproduction, we don't need male or female partners. It does not involve formation and fusion of gametes. It involves only mitotic divisions and rapid process, more primitive than the sexual form of reproduction. Here, some types of asexual reproduction are assigned to us by our board. We will follow those. The first type is fission. Now, by the word fission, we means to divide or to bifurcate. The first type of fission what we have is binary fission, and we are mentioned with two examples. One is amoeba and the other one is paramecium. In case of amoeba, we see two types of fission. The first one is the binary fission. It is the division of the adult parental body into nearly two equal daughter cells during favorable conditions. Since we know that amoeba is not having any particular shape, so we can also call it as irregular or simple binary fission. Here the diagram is provided for you, and also amoeba shows multiple fission in encysted form. The process is also known as sporulation. The next type is transverse binary fission. It is seen in paramecium, where the organism divides transversely into two new organisms. The next process is budding. One or more unicellular or multicellular outgrowths called buds are formed on or inside the parental body. These are also of two types, exogenous and endogenous. Now, exogenous and unicellular buds formed on the outer side or surface of the parental body. For example, yeast and hydra, etc. Here the diagrams are given how the buds are formed. And in case of endogenous budding, it is formed inside the parental body called gemmules. Each gemmule is a mass of undifferentiated cells called archaeocytes, which are surrounded by a primitive coat of amphidisc spicules. It helps in perennation and dispersal. During favorable conditions, archaeocytes come out of the gemmule through the micropyle and form a new sponge. The next one is conidia. These are non-motile spores which are produced exogenously by constriction at the tips of spatial hyphal branches known as conidiophores. Here the example given, which we can see in case of penicillium. Next is zoospores. These are members of kingdom fungi and algae who reproduce through spatial asexual reproductive structures called the zoospores in aquatic medium. These are flagellated, motile, naked protoplasmic bodies and are found in Chlamydomonas. The next we will come to vegetative propagation. It is the process of multiplication in which a portion or fragment of the plant body functions as propagule and develops into a new individual. Now, the vegetative propagules which are mentioned in our syllabus are, the first one is tuber of potato, which is a stem tuber. It is a swollen apical part of an underground stem or branch and bears a number of nodes or eyes. Each eye bears one or more buds from which new plants are produced. It can be seen clearly in case of potatoes. Then is rhizome of ginger. These are branch structures and the older parts isolate to form new branches. Hence, an independent life is formed. So here is the ginger portion. Here are new buds. Now if we chop off these buds, or if we separate these buds from the body and we plant it separately, it will produce a new one. Then comes the bulbil of agave. A bulbil is a small young plant that is reproduced vegetatively from auxiliary buds on the parent plant's stem or in place of a flower or an inflorescence. A diagram is provided here. These are all bulbils and can be developed into new plants. Then we have leaf buds of Bryophyllum. The leaves of these plants, when in contact with moist soil, develop with plantlets along the margins of intact leaves. So we have different plantlets over these portions. Every part of this leaf can produce a new plantlet, and it can be seen in Bryophyllum. Then we have offset of water hyacinth. It is a short, thick, spongy, free-floating, perennial aquatic herb with inflated petioles of large leaves that makes it buoyant. It grows by means of offsets, which is a runner-like branch which bear nodes. Now the example for offset which we study is water hyacinth, and which is also known as the terror of Bengal, as it is one of the most first growing weeds found in standing water. It makes the water oxygen deficient, which leads to fish death. So here is a diagram for it, and we can see these are the offsets which again at a distant place will form another one, fresh plant. Then we have a runner, a type of aerial weak stem when touches the ground gives off adventitious roots at nodes. So if this is a runner, see when it touches the node portion, the nodal portion, when it touches the ground, it gives rise to adventitious roots, and on the other part it develops into a new plant. The next is bulb of onion, a short modified underground stem surrounded by usually fleshy modified leaves that contain stored food for the shoot within. So here we can see the diagram. It's the stem portion. These are the terminal buds. So terminal buds means it contains a shoot and it is covered with fleshy leaves as well as some scaly leaves also. Now from here we will study some lifespans. So lifespans of few organisms as provided in our syllabus is given here. Now students, we need to study these lifespans clearly because sometimes it's given in this way as fill in the blanks or true false, and we should study all those formations like those of these asexual reproduction types as well as the vegetative propagation types in such a way so that we can differentiate it from each other, as well as if asked to explain about them or to prove that how we can say those are the tubers, means those are stems or roots, or whether they are the branches. So we should study the things in such a way so that we can provide a clear idea about what is it and why is it. So for today, up to this, that's all. Thank you.